and it was a long trip. And so my dad would pull out these tape series from work. He was a commercial real estate broker. And so I got introduced to guys like Earl Nightingale, Jim Rohn, my favorite, Zig Ziglar, in junior high and high school. Now, of course, this was back before the iPod, the noise-canceling headphones, and that great, wonderful device that many of us grew up with, the Sony Walkman.
Yeah.
So I got stuck listening to whatever he plugged into the tape deck. And a lot of that stuff made sense. And this new guy had come onto the scene, and as a 17-year-old, I specifically chose to, because he would get the Nightingale Conant magazine that had all of the different options in it, and I really loved what Tony's message was. And so I went and probably spent $75 to $100 of my own money in 1987 of a kid getting ready to go to college, and bought Unlimited Power, which was a phenomenal tape series based upon his first book with the same title. And I wore that out. In fact, later on, I actually went and bought another copy of it off eBay to replace a few of the cassettes that I had worn out or broken along the way. So that's how I got introduced to it and really fell in love with it. It also helped me choose what major to pursue in college. Along the way, my sister was 2.5 years ahead of me, so she was 2 years ahead of me in school, and she was in accounting and I was in business management. And she goes, you know, Brian, the people that I know that are graduating ahead of us, they're struggling to find jobs. And I asked myself the question, it's like, okay, what type of job, regardless of what happens, if we end up in another depression, where will there always be a job? And that was sales.
Right.
And I got that from Zig Ziglar. And so actually our university had just launched the professional sales degree, which is a combination between a management, marketing, and a one-on-one consultative sales degree. And it was one of 3 universities at the time that was actually offering that sales degree. It was brand new, it was just coming out. And I was one of the first people, my class was the first one that had gone through all 4 years of it. So,
you know, just to give people perspective of, you know, Tony Robbins and Zig Ziglar at that time. Zig Ziglar was like the OG, but Tony Robbins came out with this like NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and it with his own twist, you know, and Jim Rohn, who's like his mentor. And then he comes out with his own thing, what's like the next level, you know, and it was like, you know, we didn't have the internet back then. Now everybody's like personal growth and development. It's like right there at your hands and your fingertips. But you got a hold of this, you're like, holy shit, what is this stuff?
Absolutely. And that was really the thing. Tony was talking about the science, and you know, I love, yes, NLP was a big part of that book, and understanding why the strategies worked. For me, that's really where I am. I'm an explorer at heart, and I'm in the Rocky Mountains, so I love to go explore the mountains and nature around me. But when I'm not there, I love to explore the human mind.
Right. Yeah. What makes it tick? That's what Tony said, you know, is why people do what they do. Yes. So, you know, one thing that you know, we'll jump ahead and then we'll jump back. It'd be a little discursive if I could use that word at this juncture, but it's interesting because you said at 40, you know, you were still, you're involved in personal growth. And I was almost in the same boat when I was I was 30 and I was in personal growth my whole life. And I was like, you know, some shit hasn't worked yet for me. Well, I don't understand. I know this stuff, but why not doing this stuff? And I talked to somebody that was at a seminar, and they said, look, there's a difference between personal knowledge or physical knowledge and mental knowledge, or intellectual knowledge and physical knowledge. And the difference is that when you apply something, you know, you can conceptualize something. When you apply it, now it's in your nervous system, and now it's real. And you're actually physically tying the shoe rather than somebody, you know, watching it on YouTube or somebody explaining to you how to tie that shoe.
Right, absolutely.
Is that what you kind of went through at your 40 stage? You had to go through an application and taste what the strawberry tastes like, or what was going on in your life at that time?
Well, at 40, again, it had been a lot of trial and failure. I mean, I've always been an entrepreneur. Actually, probably in junior high, I started my first business.
What business was that?
Started mowing lawns.
Okay.
And I remember getting my first customer. I was all excited. I went and mowed their lawn. And they called my mom, and they basically fired me.
Why?
They said I didn't do a good enough job. I don't know what I didn't do right.
Right.
But at that point, I gave up. I didn't mow anybody else's yard except for my parents. And then because, again, my dad was a commercial real estate broker, we had a property management company. And so I was mowing the lawns of the apartment complexes and different properties that we managed.